and welcome back for another video. My name is Ashley and I'm from Charmed by Ashley and I am one of the Janome makers. And this is actually number 3 installment of an embroidery series where we talk about this beautiful standalone embroidery machine, the Janome Memory Craft 100E. So if you're new to the series, the first video was of course me explaining this beautiful machine, talking about the things that it comes with. The second video was me actually doing my first stitch outs. Now I'm a beginner embroiderer, okay? So I have no idea what I'm doing. So I am basically showing you my process on how I learn to use an embroidery machine. So hopefully I can relate to you if you are new to the world of embroidery, because it is very overwhelming and I'm taking you step by step through this journey so that we can learn together and we can be successful. So of course I've had this machine for about a week and a half and I have done a lot of research. I'm going to say an unhealthy amount of research has gone into learning how to embroider. Now, the problem with learning embroidery, and I'm sure you're already experiencing this, is that there's just so much information and it's all over the place. Like there's just these little pockets all over and you just want it all to be in one place. And this is kind of what the series is going to try to do, so that you don't need to go looking around for everything. I'm going to try to cover all the bases. So please, I hope you stick around, subscribe to the Janome Canada YouTube channel, and just stick with me this whole journey and we're going to learn so much. But in this video, we are going to be talking about stabilizers and interfacings when it comes to woven fabrics. Now, of course, you're going to be eager to get into clothing, maybe monogram some towels, but we're going to be waiting for those projects just because there's so much information and so many ways to do things. And there are a plethora of woven projects that we can begin with. And then we'll dive into garments, and of course I want to get to towels because I really want to monogram my own towels. I'm really excited about that. But I have some fails and some wins that we're going to talk about, because I like to do things the wrong way to learn how to do it the right way. And I think that's the thing about embroidery, is that it's a lot of trial and error, and it will seem wasteful, I know, and a little bit expensive, but you really need to understand why you're doing things. So hopefully maybe me doing this and me absorbing that cost will allow you to just skip to the good part. We just want to get to how to do this properly. Now, I love to do woven projects. If you're new to my YouTube channel, I have hundreds of projects that are woven because that's kind of my favorite medium. I love to make zipper pouches and bags and backpacks and tote bags. So I am super excited to be able to embroider all of those things. But then there also comes with okay, so we now need to use interfacing and stabilizer to be able to support those designs so that we don't ruin the fabric that is then going to turn into those projects. And it would be really bad if we did this wrong and we went and made this beautiful tote bag and we go to embroider it and then we mess it up. So we really want to make sure that we know what we're doing before we actually dive into that, because especially if you're from my world where you like to make your own projects and then embroider. But even then, if you want to go to the store and buy these things and then bring them home, if you mess up on those, that's only going to cost you money in that respect as well. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to try to do things the right way so that we can make sure that we are at maximum success whenever we want to do any project with our embroidery machine. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the difference between interfacing and stabilizer. Now, if you are new to sewing, then this is completely new. If you're already a sewist, you might be kind of like me, where I thought stabilizers and interfacing were the same kind of thing. Apparently not. So interfacing is what we're going to be using only on your fabric. You're not going to be using it in the hoop. So when we're talking about cotton fabric, it's pretty flimsy. So we want to stabilize the fabric with using the interfacing. But then we need a stabilizer to help hold up our stitches, if that makes sense. Like we want them to hold up and be stiff and be beautiful. So we want our fabric to be able to support it, especially dense designs. But then we also want the stitches not to sink into the fabric, to kind of get wrinkled and ruined over time. So I'm going to show you some examples of how it looks really, really bad. Okay, so I have the medium weight interfacing, which I highly recommend you have medium weight interfacing, and then tearaway stabilizer. Now I got this off of Amazon. You get a big roll. It's like 30 bucks for like 100 feet. It tears like paper. So this is the stuff that I use for all of these cotton designs, and I definitely highly recommend this. I would say that 90% of the projects, probably all of them, if I'm being honest, you're going to be using this tearaway stabilizer. So I have this in the hoop with my cotton fabric only. That's all I did. I didn't do interfacing. I didn't do anything else. I just wanted to see what would happen. And it's bad. Oh my God, how bad is that? Now this is the reality of just tearaway. Now, are my clovers really cute? I mean, yeah, they're pretty cute. They look like they're being held up. So the stabilizer is definitely doing its job. You know, it's almost like you can pick it right off of this fabric. But the puckering and the wrinkling on this fabric is so disturbing that you could never do anything with this. This is just an immediate throwaway. So after that, I'm like, okay, we're going to interface our fabric so that we can stabilize the fabric. And we're going to try again. Again, I use my tearaway stabilizer. We put it in the hoop, and this is what happened. And it got better. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It looks better, but it doesn't look great. Those puckers and wrinkles are just, they're horrible. You can see them, how bad it looks. So I had to really think about this because I've done the interfacing, I've done the stabilizer, and I still don't have a good product. Now this is flimsy cotton. This is just quilt cotton. So I thought, you know what? I have this miracle product called Material Magic right here. Now this is a spray starch. This is something that you spray onto your fabric, and then it almost makes it like it's paper-like. So you spray it on, then you iron it with your iron, and it kind of dries it and heat sets it. And then it's literally like paper. And you can also dissolve it away afterwards. So you can wash your fabric afterwards, and then it all goes away. But you can also leave it in as well. It's up to you. So I did that. I did the interfacing on the back, and then I also used my tearaway. And look at that. Holy moly, it is beautiful. There's no puckering. There's no wrinkling. Now you might see some wrinkles in this fabric. It's not around the actual clovers. I think what happens is, or what happened was that I went to wash it and I didn't get all the Material Magic. I just wanted to see what would happen. I didn't get it all out. So then I like crunched it up and then I dried it, and it just, the wrinkles, I can't get them out. But thankfully I'm not planning on using this, but now I know that maybe I'll just leave the Material Magic in, or I gotta like actually throw it in the wash so that it really dissolves out. But you can see that those stitches, those little clovers are perfect. We are not having any issues with the wrinkling or the puckering. And if I'm being totally honest, and you can go back to the first clover that we stitched out that just had the tearaway, the stitching does not look the same. It almost looks like it's two different files, because you can see the lines of the stitching. But here it almost looks like a perfect, and that's what the stabilizer is doing, is it's holding up your stitches, and it actually makes it nice. So what the interfacing is doing is it's preventing your fabric from warping and stretching, because just because it's cotton fabric doesn't mean that you can still, you know. Then you put the Material Magic on there, which is also going to allow for more stiffness to prevent more no warping or stretching. And then you put on your tearaway, and that is what's going to hold up and allow your stitches to look beautiful and even. That's the thing, is that you want them to look even and consistent. So I'm really happy with this, and I'm excited to make some projects with this technique. Oh my goodness. So after that, I'm like, okay, now I know how to do cotton fabric. I figured it out. What if we want to get into some more heavier duty fabrics? What do we need to be able to successfully embroider onto that? So I have some denim and I have some canvas, and we're going to see what that looks like. Now I have some heavy duty canvas. So if you want to make tote bags, this is good information. But so of course denim is pretty thick, and it has some good stability. So I went ahead and stitched out this little rainbow design with nothing. I didn't even use tearaway. I literally nothing. And although it looks pretty good, there was a little bit of a mess up on this this cloud here. Not sure how that happened. The thread must have broke and it didn't detect it. I thought when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it looks pretty good. But then I went ahead and stitched it out again with tearaway stabilizer on the back. And oh my goodness, again, night and day. It is so, it's perfect. I can't even. It is so absolutely perfect. The stitches are beautiful and consistent. I love this design. This is actually one of the free designs on the MC100, and it almost looks like cross stitch, which just looks so amazing. And I mean, I showed you an up close image of it, but I'm just so impressed with what the stabilizer did for the stitching, as well as it will again allow for that those stitches to be held up with the stabilizer. And then if you want to use this for tote bag, or if you wanted to make some denim jeans over time with wear and washes and things, this is going to stay and hold up. So I'm just going to show you. I left this on to show you exactly what tearaway stabilizer does, which is pretty neat. But it literally tears away from your image. And the rest of it is just left under the stitches. And you can see how stiff that rainbow ends up. So you won't see it on the back at all. Now I went ahead and did it again. I did it with some heavy duty canvas. And again, I only used my tearaway stabilizer because we are working with those heavier fabrics. I don't feel the need to put any interfacing on the back. And look at this beautiful image. Isn't that so cute? That again is another free image available on the MC100. I just love these cute little, and again, we're just tearing it off. Now it might seem like this is a bit of a waste, but I can assure you that you will need these pieces. So just kind of maybe cut them up into rectangles or squares, have a little stash of them. And even if you have like a little embroidery hoop, you can get embroidery hoops as small as 2 by 2 inches. You will definitely be using these. So keep a little stash or a drawer where you can kind of just shove these in there. And even then, I feel like you could probably Frankenstein these together just to like use up your scraps. Like cut it into a rectangle and then just kind of sew it together, you know, and then you'll have a bigger piece. So that's what a lot of people do with regular interfacing as well. Like the iron-on, you can just kind of put it together, and then you don't have to waste and throw away all of that interfacing into the garbage. Now, of course, I haven't gone through every single example and everything as it comes your way. I encourage you to thoroughly test it to make sure that everything comes out beautiful. But just know that if things don't stitch out as nicely as you would like, you might need to add more interfacing. You might need to add more stabilizer. Some people put 2 sheets of stabilizer if it's a really, really dense image. But there are so many fun projects that I am going to be sewing up, and I definitely am going to show some show and tell in later videos. So I hope that you tune in for future tutorials and videos, and I hope that you're enjoying this. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below. I'm here for you. If not, you can contact me through any of my social media. That will also be linked below. And if you're new to Janome, come over to their social media. If you do have this beautiful machine and you stitch anything out, if you finally take that dive into embroidery, they would love to see it. I would love to see it. So please, we encourage you to contact us and send us your beautiful makes so that we can help to inspire the community, show people what we can do with the right tools in hand. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!